It's so dark out there right now with this current meltdown that we have, but there's big things happening in the US market. It's Nvidia day, and the world seems to be waiting for this. I think crypto is waiting for this as well, especially these AI shitcoins. What are we going to do with these things? So, guys, we're covering tons of this Nvidia stuff. We're looking at the relevant AI tokens. Then I've got updates for you on the market as a whole. What are we doing with these altcoins if we get a pump? What are we going to do if we get a dump? How are we dealing with this stuff? I've got Sol, I've got ETH, I've got CAS for you guys. There's so much going on here. Let's get right into it. I'm just reading some of the comments here. There's pain in the house, guys. Remember, if you like the content, hit the like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. And I mean, we can still have fun. I see Chris says he's bullish on shorts. Guys, I actually think this is partly my fault. Yesterday, I wore the white hat. Now, I've got a hit rate. The last 2 times I wore the white hat, I basically sent us to 0. I wore it again yesterday. What happened? Market fell over again. Not bullish on the white hat. Remind me. Next time you see that white hat, that's a top indicator there for you guys. Okay, can somebody please tell me in the top left here, what is dogs? Okay, what is dogs and why is this thing on my screen? It's offending
I think
me.
it's some piece of shit on Ton Network.
Well, there you go, guys. Okay, so that could make sense. If it's on Ton Network, there is news on Ton. We're going to talk about that one as well. And all around messy. Again, day 2 of messiness. Now, we have had a pullback, and we did get a little bounce of some very nice areas on some of these altcoins. But I see now we are running into a reversal once again. So, guys, let's not panic. Okay, the worst thing you can do here in these situations is panic. Let's be rational. Let's look at these levels. Let's see what's going on. Let's fix this thing and plan our way out of this mess that they are giving us at the moment. Okay, let's go straight into BTC on the 4-hour. Now, there were 2 hot zones that I was watching yesterday. First hot zone we had was the 61,600 region. That one is now covered. It's been dealt with by the market makers. Look at that little bounce there on that area and then sent straight to 0. Okay, so now what do we know what happens when this type of move goes down? We know we get a lot of late shorters and things like that. Okay, so we do know that there is a little bit of liquidity to the upside here at the moment. I see Michelle says she's fast panic. Guys, how many pairs of undies have you had to change? Be honest, okay? Be honest. I'm on 3.
Bro, I'm out of swimming shorts. I don't even have swimming shorts anymore.
Okay, look, let's just deal with this. What is going on right now? Well, we can see, if you were watching the show yesterday, you would have had this chart, or you would have copied this chart, and you would have identified a couple of zones of interest. So our next big zone that we identified was this region. We had the anchored VWAP, we had the rising trend, we had the 786 and some horizontals. So this was always going to be our next play zone. Okay, and what did they do? They dumped us down into this area. They've bounced it. They've now come and retested on this market open and chopped everyone up. So if you got a long, say about 2 hours ago, you were feeling quite swell. You were feeling quite good with yourself. And now they've just come and flushed everybody out again. And we are still at these uncertainty levels now in the market while we wait for news. Okay, so I have had a little go here on BTC in these treacherous conditions, and the current support that I'm using here is this 57,969. Now, what is the game plan here if this bounces? What is the actual play? So if we do get a strong push now this evening, remember, Nvidia's coming after the market close, so anything can really happen until then. But if we do get some kind of bullish momentum here in the market, I'm expecting a push on BTC, but I'm not expecting much. If we manage to get up to 61,600, for me, that is a massive exit zone. That is a sell zone. Okay, any type of green that they're going to give us here, for me, is bearish until proven otherwise. And that has been triggered now by us losing this rising trend that you can see we were tracking up with after that original dump not too long ago. So now that we've lost that trend, typically this is what we're looking at. And I want to invert this for you guys just to give you a picture. And I'm going to show you on these altcoins as well. So those of you that are trading breakouts and things like that, you can see what is going on here. We've had a very strong breakout of a trend. Now we're looking for a typical retest here. And if this trend is going to continue, it's going to bounce at the 61,600 and then it's going to fire off. So that is the current game plan. Until proven otherwise, until we get a different structure here in the market, we are just looking for small little bounces. And you're going to see a lot of these altcoins typically look the same. Okay, so this is now what we need to prepare for. If you're sitting in positions here and we get a nice push and things like that, let's not get euphoric, okay? We're tightening up stops, we're taking profits, we're behaving ourselves, we're being disciplined here. And Mag says red is the new green. Macro says bull horns. Inverse bullish right now. Okay, let's look at what is happening here. And well, let's start with the liquidations today. This is, this is pretty relevant as to what is going on. So let's look at this liquidation. This is the one-day liquidation map that we have here. You can see the shorts are far outweighing the longs at the moment. And every time we move down, look at this cluster. These shorts just keep opening here, just above this. So at some point, we're going to get a little snapback bounce, I would expect. And if they are going to push us lower here on these liquidations, 56K, it looks like an area. They could easily come and just wipe us out here to 56K. So let's watch this region closely. Let's watch this liquidation map. But so far, you can see the shorts outweighing the longs, and the shorts are piling up. I mean, look at this. They are just filling up these gaps here with shorts. So these guys are going to come and get wrecked just now, I suspect, when we do get some kind of move. So let's just see what's going on here with some of the tweets and some of the relevant news floating around. So Ali Chart says, since early August, the market cycle indicator has been flipping between bearish and bullish, right? Like our sentiment. And it's just shifted back to bearish once again. Okay, that is not a good sign. Then we saw earlier, if you were part of that flush out last night, Byzantine General, this was many hours ago, but he said we had a $2 billion in positions got wrecked in one candle. That was quite pleasant, and that really sorted everyone out. That reset a lot of open interest. But what is important here is suddenly we are all scared again. Look at this. The fear and greed index is back at 30. So we went from super bullish at 61K, super bullish holding 60K, to oh fuck, what's going on now? Are we going back to 49K? And that is amazing. This is crypto for you. Literally in a few hours, sentiment can shift so quickly. And all of a sudden now, there are bearish vibes in the market. So we typically get bounces on that fear and greed when it dips into 20, low 20s, that type of thing. Is this an indicator that we might have a little bit more of a push down? We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But that is, it has been a bottom indicator for us before, but in the 20s. So that is something to watch. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 says the last 3 times Bybit wiped 10,000 BTC in open interest, we've marked a bottom in price shortly thereafter. So that is the only bull source I can actually give you based on that flush out at the moment. And we're going to talk RSIs and things. There are guys talking 4-hour RSIs, but we're going to discuss that. I've got a chart for you. I've got a chart ready. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. And Mr. Crypto says funding rates are extremely low again. Okay, shorts getting opened like crazy, as you saw on that liquidation map. And he's saying a bounce will be inevitable. But the question here is, how low do we go before they bounce us? Okay, that is the thing. And when we look at this 4-hour RSI, I'm going to talk you through that. And there might be a sign that we need to head a little bit lower. Now, the S&P is not helping us at the moment. We've seen the S&P turning over here for now. Okay, we're leading into Nvidia earnings. I didn't really want to see the S&P start rolling over so early. So you can see we are still double topping here at the moment. And that is potentially now a bearish thing. We've looked at this pretty much every day. Nothing has changed here. 5,450. That looks like a hot zone for me. So interesting to see a little bleed out in the market into Nvidia. Is that going to play into our hands later? Can we survive some kind of bleed out to get some kind of bullish bounce? We're going to have to wait and see. So I've got a whole segment here for you guys on Nvidia, so stick around. And we're talking Nvidia. I got the cheat sheet. I got all the stuff. I got the AI coins. And let's see if we get a move. Ray, am I getting rinsed here yet? No, I'm not getting rinsed yet. Let's see. Okay, you can see I'm running a very tight stop here on Prime XBT, and this top is currently 58388, but I think we can actually stretch that one to the lows. We can actually push that one to about 57750, somewhere in that region. So let's see, Ray, if we get rinsed again. Let me know what is going on there with your 3-minute candles. But right now you can see he's not happy. The man's not happy.
Looks like shit.
You heard it, guys. That's basically scientific analysis there. It looks like shit. Okay, let's wait and see. You can see this 4-hour chart. We've zoomed out here. 4-hour chart, you can see the story. Okay, you can see what's going on here. You can see the levels. You can see there's an area here where we should hold this level. If not, we plan for lower. Okay, and what do we plan for lower? 56K. There it is for you. That's your next reaction area. And then a little bit lower, 54.5. Okay, that 56K ties in perfectly with these liquidations down to 56K. So that actually does make sense to us. Okay, so let's make sure we've got some dry powder here at 56K. If we need to, then we can start looking for structure in this region and then look for some kind of bounce there. Okay, and Matt says everything looks like ANA. Well, ADA, what do you mean? It looks like shit. Everything looks like a shit coin. Okay, let's talk 4-hour RSIs, because there's a lot of bull source floating around, guys trying to come and prop up the market with the 4-hour RSI. Now, I look at this thing all the time. Okay, this 4-hour and 1-hour RSI often tells me when we are going to get our reversal. Okay, but what I wanted to do here was say to you guys, remember in June, we had a couple of dumps there, and that 4-hour RSI actually went lower than expected. We were hitting the lows and they sent it again. Okay, and we are drifting into a situation now where things are looking pretty similar. Okay, so if we go back in history here, let's look at May. You can see that 4-hour RSI, when it dipped below this region, you can see we did have some kind of reversal. That's great. Okay, tick. Then in July, we had this dip on the 4-hour RSI, and we were looking at it over here a little bit before. Okay, just before that dip, and you can see they still sent it lower down and gave you sort of a bigger push into the lows here on the 4-hour RSI, and then sent it up. Here's another example. Okay, that was a singular move on that region, and they sent it higher. And here we go again. Look at this. We were hitting the lows here. We're floating around 31, that sort of region, at about 3rd of August. Okay, early August. Look at that. And then they just dipped that RSI one more time, and they absolutely rinsed the market. Okay, so what I want to say here is, cool, we're watching this 4-hour RSI, but you know, we've seen in the past a couple of times they like to come and double dip us. Okay, so let's not say we can't get a double dip here. Okay, so here's this 4-hour RSI double dip. For me, you can see we've dipped our toes in here. What do we want to see? We actually want to see a proper move into the zone. Okay, what does that tell us? That tells us we could come on BTC and come test this 56K region. Okay, Ferdy says, I don't want to watch my portfolio right now. Guys, what portfolio? Is there anything left after all this? Fucking hell, messy out there. So that is got to be on the table. Okay, this 4-hour RSI has to be on the table as a possible push lower down. And with that in mind, let's keep a watch on those levels. So just to remind you again, it's 56K, 54.5. Okay, these are now potentially on our radar. Okay, have that in your armory, have that ready for you in case we need it. And let's talk ETH now. The Ethereum Foundation, they put 35K, 35,000 ETH. That's $94 million. Okay, they basically sold the top again. Now remember, we see this news quite often when the ETH Foundation starts selling ETH, and more often than not, it marks the top of a move. Okay, what is Ideal saying? Fuck this shit, up or down, this fucking manipulation. Guys, this is crypto. Okay, like there's nothing non-manipulated about crypto. I mean, this is it. And Emil saying,
you guys could go trade the gold chart. Should we give them some gold signals?
Trade the gold chart. Yeah, I mean, that's relatively boring. I'm assuming gold is even more manipulated, like silver. Anyway, let's not digress. ETH, okay, the Ethereum Foundation, the best traders in history. Okay, these guys sell the top of the move every single time. Okay, this is worth watching. So try and track this Ethereum Foundation. If you see these guys are offloading ETH or moving ETH around, you know the drill. Okay, they've probably found the top, and they're going to send this thing over the edge. So that is what's happened there on ETH. And looking at the ETH chart, we are now in our DCA zone. Okay, so the 2380, that is still a solid DCA zone. But what does this mean now? Now that we've pulled back all this way, we need to just be aware. Okay, if they're going to send Bitcoin lower and start taking out wicks and things like that, we got to assume these altcoins are going to get treated the same way. So what I'm doing here at the moment is I'm highlighting this wick, and for me, 2,100 on ETH now is on the table. We can't say it's not on the table. So what does that look like? Let's say we get some kind of bullish bounce here. If they do start selling this thing, which I expect to happen, if we get some kind of pop here on some of these altcoins, I'm expecting ETH ultimately to come down to this 2,100 level. So we need to be cautious now. Okay, we are in a DCA zone, 2380. That was always a buy zone for the spot guys and for the portfolio guys. 2,100, that is on the table next. Naturally, there's no guarantees we see it, but we've got to now put it on the table and say, guys, this is a thing now. Okay, we've now rejected hard, and this is now a possibility for us for 2,100 for ETH. So watching that one closely. And then Kaleo, he's a big name on Twitter. He's got 600,000 followers, so they seem to like his charts. And he's got 120 he's calling on Sol. Okay, so I thought, well, let's take a look at what has happened to Sol here in the last couple of hours. And here's my Sol on the daily chart, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective as to what is going on. And this is a great guide for you for all of these altcoins now. If you look at the Sol chart, you're going to see similarities in tons of your altcoins. And the key or the glaring situation here for me is that Sol has actually lost this rising trend. Okay, so that is bearish sign number one here for us that we need to be aware of. So Sol on the daily sitting at 142. Now we know this is a reaction zone. Why? Because number one, it's our 382. You can see it's reacted there. Number two, we've got horizontals. Look at all these horizontals here. And number three, I've got my anchored VWAP sitting in this region as well. And Sol is reacting beautifully on this at the moment. So reaction zone tick. Okay, we know that. And that is support for us. So what does this potentially look like for us now? So again, I want to just invert this for you guys and say, okay, if we were trading breakouts and things like that, we were looking for longs, what is this picture actually telling us? It's telling us that we could get a little push out of Sol into one of these little regions here, 138, 136, something like that. Then some kind of retest, okay, most likely onto a solid support region or resistance region, and then a bounce. Okay, now that is the long players. Now let's put this back. Let's put our bear hats on. Okay, and look at this. This trend retest here on Sol ties in perfectly with a big danger zone. Why is this a danger zone? And the reason it's a danger zone is because it's a rejection zone. Okay, so we're going to highlight this area over here. This is 200-day moving average, 100-day moving average, 50-day moving average. This is now a major resistance area for us on Solana. So we need to understand, if we get a strong bounce on the market here and you are scalping, that is a TP zone for you. That is where you need to take something off the table here. That is where you are tightening stops. That is where you don't get euphoric. Okay, we ride this move, we take some profits, and then we jump out of this thing here, especially the leverage traders. That is a caution zone for me on Sol. So 151 to 155, that is a hot zone. Okay, bears, you know what you want to do. If you're looking for shorts after a pump, remember, if we get a nice strong green candle here, that could give us a nice bearish opportunity for that retest. And then we can take this down to Kalio's level, that 120 that he is looking for. So there is a path to get there. And that would take us to wipe out this wick. Okay, look at this wick. The same thing you've seen now BTC, the same thing you've seen on ETH. That for me makes sense. So the game plan here is any pumps here, we're looking to TP. Bears, any pumps here, you can look to sell. As long as you're on good resistance zones, you can start building some potential shorts. And then we are going to be looking lower down. So the first region there is 120s. That is Kalio's levels there. You can see we've got these horizontals in play. That would most likely wipe out half of this wick here. So that actually makes pretty decent sense to me. And then lower down, if they really want to come test us, it's 107. Okay, so watch out, guys. This is the current game plan here. Things have turned bearish. We've lost our rising trends. Now we are forming downtrends, and we need to play accordingly. So potential downtrend here all the way for us. And, we could have a lot of this before we get some action. Now, anything can change. Okay, remember, this is crypto. So guard candles, yes. Pump us through major resistance areas, then we flip bullish again. Until we start breaking major resistance areas, we can't turn bullish. Okay, we have to look at this with bearish hats on now until proven otherwise. And I'd love to be corrected. Okay, so let's see. Now, let's talk Nvidia. And why do I think we're in shit? Why are we in trouble? Okay, retail traders are bullish on Nvidia ahead of earnings. Others, not so much. Goldman Sachs pointed out recently that both mutual and hedge funds are on average the most underweight they've been on tech in the past decade. Okay, these guys have been offloading their tech shares. Okay, they're dumping this stuff, and it's not a good look. Okay, so retail at the moment are the ones propping this thing up, and this, according to the bank, was driven by selling in mega cap tech names such as Apple and Nvidia. Bottom line, this report could send ripples through the market. Okay. Brace yourselves for Nvidia tonight, guys. Things could get super spicy. Here is Nvidia's earnings cheat sheet. If anybody wants to read it and take a look, this is Scott Redler. Okay, his at is Red Dog T3. Must be his university nickname or something there, or whatever was going on there before he became a man in a collared shirt doing economic news. But here he is. So here's your Nvidia earnings cheat sheet, and you can say, just have a rundown. Take a look at what's expected. But basically, these guys better. Okay, these guys better smash these earnings. These guys better really outperform here, because the market has technically been pricing in pretty decent results for these guys. So they need to surprise to the upside, or I suspect we are going to hell, okay? Going to be a little bit of pain. And Jake, nice little TA guy on Twitter as well, and he's given you an Nvidia update saying the similarities to the last earnings setup are pretty insane, he says. Okay, so you can see the last earnings here. This was early June, late May, okay? And look at this thing. They teed it up here, and then this thing absolutely gapped up. Okay, so now we have a similar situation here, leading into earnings here today with Nvidia. Okay, and well, I mean, if we look at this current situation, we could still say, okay, we flagging, but this is a situation where you can see these candles are prepping for a move. Okay, which way? Okay, no one knows. Okay, well, maybe some of the insiders know exactly what is going on, but this thing is prepping for a move. I suspect we're going to gap one way or the other. Okay, someone's going to get wrecked up. Someone's going to get wrecked down. Okay, so just brace yourselves both ways here for Nvidia. The results are coming out in a few hours' time. I even see some of the guys on Twitter, they're organizing watch parties for the Nvidia earnings. So it's a massive event. Okay, it's the most important stock in the world right now for us. And there's guys hedging their bets. There's tons of guys shorting this thing now, leading into earnings. There's tons of guys longing this thing, leading into earnings. It's a big moment. It's a massive moment. And, for me, seeing some of these AI tokens bleed down before Nvidia earnings could be a little bit of a bullish sign for us, okay? That could be just a hint that things could work out for us. So here's Render, okay? And I just want to say, we nailed a couple of these zones yesterday. Yes, I went long a little bit early on PopCat, okay? I was long on BTC, got smashed on that BTC, but fuck me. We nailed some levels yesterday. We nailed some zones. Render was one of them. Aave was the other. Phantom was the other. And, Render is sometimes just patience. We've been staring at this Render chart for 3 or 4 days saying 5.66 was the zone. That is what we wanted to do. And they came in the dead of the night there and they gifted it to us. And here you are. So nothing's changed here on Render. This was our zone. This was our Nvidia earnings buy zone. Okay, that is still on the table here for me. So Render, if you want to have a go, you have 5.66. My trade for this move is GRT, like I told you guys about. I'm going to show you that chart just now. And that for me, Render 5.66. Look out, okay? If they do want to sweat us a little bit harder, we do have a slight wick level lower down. And I just want to highlight this one for you one more time. And that has got to do with a fib pull from the absolute lows here to the highs. So we take the lows to the highs, bang. And you can see we've got a little sneaky 382 sitting here. So I just want to highlight this one as a potential wick zone for you guys, 5.37. But right now, 5.66, okay, this is the support we're watching, okay? If the market stabilizes here and they start pushing us up, then we're okay here, 5.66. Other than that, look out for a wick to 5.37, okay? 5.37, and then lower down, 5.17. Now, a lot of levels here, but we've got to highlight these zones. These are big reaction zones for us. So watch these 3 levels, mark them on your charts here, 5.66, 5.37, 5.17. Those, for me, are the scalper zones. Those are the leverage guy zones. If you're trading spot and you got a 2-year plan on Render, you just buy this thing and you chill, okay? You fine, okay? I'm talking to the leverage guys here that are sweating bullets now. They're squeaking in their seats. They want to know what's going on. There he is. There's one of them. Ray, are we still long BTC or are we getting rinsed here, bro?
Yes, I took a long on Casper.
You took a long on Casper. Okay, guys, I've got Casper ready for you guys. There it is. Okay, we're talking Casper. Okay, but remember, Ray's trading 3-minute candles. This is 8 hours. So we're going to deal with Casper in a minute. Let's not digress. Let's finish our AI plays. This was my AI play. So basically, I said to you guys, you want to pick a horse. Okay, Render, we know, banger. Tower, we know, banger. Fetch, we know, banger. Neo, we know, banger. I went with GRT. Okay, that's the one I went to since listening to Dylan say, fuck me, never gets old. So, here's GRT. Okay, hanging on by the skin of its teeth. Okay, this is where this thing needs to move. The bulls need to step in now. And I want to see this thing hold naturally. And this trade is now unchanged from yesterday. Your stop zone, 0.1458. No changes here. The only difference here for you is you're now getting a much tighter entry than I'm getting. Okay, so way tighter than that. And you can run this thing super tight. So the game plan here is we consolidate, we get some kind of bounce, we push into Nvidia earnings. Let's see if that plays out. If not, your risk is like absolute minimal here on GRT with 0.1458. And I'm trading this one on Bitfunded. I'm going to show you that in a sec. But if we do get a move here on GRT, what do we do? Okay, what is the plan? If we get a pump, do we turn euphoric? Do we show our wives our P&L, tell them how smart we are? Or do we actually take profit? So that is what we want to do. We're looking for hot zones here, okay? Hot zone number 1, 166. Okay, that is hot zone number 1. Hot zone number 2, 170. It's our 50-day MA. And then naturally, I've got this big level up here. But right now, in these bearish conditions, I'm not expecting something this big on GRT. Now, things have changed overnight because now things are looking bearish. We've lost a rising trend. So we have to be a little bit more conservative now. So if we get a pump, that's the max, the absolute max that I would expect out of GRT. Absolute max, somewhere in that region there for me before they send us back. And other than that, we can flip this thing over. Okay, let's flip this thing over. Now, I've obviously gone long based on this Nvidia situation, but you can see what is going on here. Look at that. We've started breaking this trend. Okay, so this thing could potentially start turning a little bit bearish for us. And you can see that wick from earlier. There's that wick from that pump that we had this afternoon. That's about a 4% risk. Okay, and then that could be a short zone there for you guys. So if you are feeling that way, okay, bears in the house, okay, you want to fade the Lord of Entry, okay, there it is. Okay, there is your situation. Fran says check FDM. I've got FDM for you guys. Okay, so bears, your stop is above that wick, that rejection wick that you've just seen. Okay, bulls, this is your entry. Okay, send it. Okay, send it north. And I'm trading this one on Bitfunded at the moment. And let's see. Well, when it opens, let's go. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing working here. Uno momento. There it is. Okay. It's gone. Come on. Okay, there we go. So there is GRT at the bottom there. You can see I'm slightly underwater here. They're both GRT, so they don't bundle the positions together. I just was laddering into the position. So my first entry was 1516. The second entry was 150. Okay, so there, I'm locked and loaded on GRT. Remember, Bitfunded is a demo account that they give you. You send them $49 or $99. They give you a $5,000 or $10,000 demo account. You make 8%, you make 5%. Then they give you real money to trade with. You keep 80 to 90% of the profits here. This is stage 2 for me. So this is my trade that I'm banking on closing this with. If they come and rinse me out, then we go and we do the challenge again. Okay, so that is Bitfunded there. That is my trade. You can see here I'm sitting on stage 2. So if you want to do it and trade with other people's money, there's the link in the description here for you for Bitfunded. It's about 7 from the top. And what you do is you click on the link, you sign up, then you have to go back and you click on Bitfunded Dylan and you do the challenge link there. And then you are active and then you are cracking on Bitfunded. Okay, let's look at the poll here. Bull or bear, I said. Bullish, 53, bearish, 47. Guys are on the fence. Okay, so that is not clear for me. Normally, if we get 80% bullish, then we short that thing and vice versa. But here we are. So very balanced. Everyone's being pretty rational out there at the moment. Okay, so GRT is done. Bears, you've got your exit zone. Okay, if you want to short this thing, your stop is 1556. Okay, that's it. If you want to be long, stop option here 1458. That is it. It's as simple as that. Okay, let's talk NIA. You can see NIA had a nice little pump as well. And Fahad, I've got this RV for you. And you can see NIA had a nice little pump here off the 618. But again, typical market rejection now. The market's fallen over and they're sending us back to Goblin Town. Okay, so same story with NIA. If you are feeling bearish on here, there's your wick high. Okay, 4.59, and that has got to be your exit zone. If you start pushing up, okay, so if we start bouncing now, for example, and we start clearing that region, that potential bearish setup is invalidated. But right now, if you're looking for shorts, you're typically looking for something along these lines, okay, just like that. So you can see we're losing trends on, we've lost the trend on SOL. We've lost the trend on Bitcoin. We're losing trends on GRT. We're losing trends on NIA. Things are looking dark. They're looking dangerous out there. Okay, but what I can say is bearish into Nvidia results could be a nice little bounce opportunity for us. So let's watch very closely. What I can suggest here is, guys, extreme caution with whatever you are doing. Okay, the market is tricky at the moment. And then I've got a Kush network. Okay, I thought let's talk about this token, AKT. Okay, they've got some kind of partnership going on with Nvidia, so also could be a nice play. And this was an entry I gave you guys a while ago, and we're still waiting for that. But now this is kind of ringing true to me. It's looking like this thing could become a reality for us. So 2.49 okay, for AKT. Looks like an interesting zone here. Let this thing come down. That is where you could potentially have a little go on this AKT. Is that going to be the little bearish drop now in the market leading into Nvidia? Are they going to surprise us with some amazing news here? Then that is going to be your entry, 2.49. Now, the guys are pretty bullish on this one, and this would be a simple rising trend play, okay? Very simple game plan here. You can see we've got 786 horizontals, rising trend, looking good here for me for a little nibble at 2.49. So mark this one on your charts. In fact, I'm going to drop an alarm on this one too. If we get this as a possible entry, I'm going to try and jump in here. I'm just highlighting that. So my alarm is at 2.52. Okay, and Mr. Bird says back to the bear market. How is everybody here in the chat? So how is everybody? I see Atesh says we dumping. OJ is talking things about auction and things like that. Remember, guys, if you want these tokens, I've got cash for you because one of you were kind enough to leave it in the comments after the show. So when I'm done with the show, drop the tokens you want in the comments. Ray puts them together for me, and then we pick one and we do it for you guys. So, we pick one or two actually. And today I've got cash for you guys. So don't forget, leave it in the comments afterwards. And we're going to cover it. We're going to cover it tomorrow. Cunning George says, "Where is Bruce? Bring him out of his cage." And where is Bruce? Actually, good question. Is he in the chats here today? We need to find him. And I see Mag says she just sold her kidney. How are you feeling? You must drink a lot of water if you're doing that. I would suspect you need to drink some water there to feel better. Yes, super fan Joy Banter is in the house, and she says someone will know what wreck means. Who else we got? Siege says Uncle Dill with a great energy, guys. The market can be bearish, okay? But my bullish energy, okay? Bullish energy is just for you guys. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Next one. Ton. Let's talk Ton. So there was a lot of FUD around Ton. Now, you guys know the guy got arrested. He's now released. Okay, you might have noticed the Ton pump today, but apparently the Ton stopped working as well. Okay, so bad timing. I mean, the guy goes to jail, the Ton price dumps, and then this thing stops working. Now, apparently they fixed it. Okay, and then the news is out that he's been transferred from police custody to court after arrest. So it sounds like he is now free to go. Okay, he's smiling. He looks happy there, and it sounds like he's been released. Okay, so maybe this drama is starting to fiddle its way out. Okay, maybe we're going to move on from all of this. And here is Ton on the 3-day chart, and I just want to highlight again for you now. There's tons of volatility. We know the arrest, you get pumps, you get dumps, you get all these types of things. If you believe fundamentally in Ton, then you need to believe in 3 hot zones, okay? 3 hot zones, 3 DCA zones for me, 5.5, okay? That's where you're adding to your portfolio. Lower down, you're looking at 4.7, okay? Why are you shaking your head? Are we getting rinsed?
They stopped me out at entry. It was going well.
Guys, the market is tough at the moment. Okay, so Ton 5.5. Next one you got 4.7. Next one you got 3.77. Those are your DCA levels. Those are your FUD levels. Those are your investment zones. Okay, so if you're looking to buy Ton, you believe in this thing fundamentally, let the FUD play out. Let it do its thing. You're going to get beautiful zones here. So these are the areas you need to focus on, or I would focus on if I'm trying to accumulate some Ton. Those are the levels that you guys are looking at. And now I just want to cover cash. I've got to cover a couple of, there was a fun little video I made today as well. I had a hater, guys. I had a hater in the comments yesterday. And I'm going to play you a video because I just thought, you know what, I have to do this because we got to deal with this. Guys, there's no such thing as a perfect trader, okay? We fuck it up all the time, okay? But I get a lot of stuff right, okay? You got to give me credit for that. And I've got a little video here for you guys. And I'm going to play it for you in a sec. But remember, if you want to trade, there's an offer at the moment on Bybit as well. Okay, they've got the Cybertruck deal that is happening at the moment. And then I was sent a note as well. This is for whales, okay? So this is for the whales out there. Talking to the whales, okay? Whales, you know who you are, okay? It says, new users who sign up, deposit 100K, trade 8 million and receive $5,000 bonus. They will only pay $3,200 in fees and you'll earn a $5,000 bonus, okay? That's separate to this Tesla thing. This Tesla thing, you just need to be trading on Bybit. Okay, so it's very simple. And there's a link in the description here under the show. Plus, all the exchanges that I use, all the indicators that I'm using, MDX Algo is there, ZoomX is there, Prime XBT is there, Bybit is there, all my stuff is there for you guys. Okay, go to the shopping list there and you can see ET Algos there, Blowfins there, everything is there for you guys. So jump in there at the bottom and if you want to try a new exchange. Now, let's talk CAS, because you guys wanted some CAS. And, very interesting. CAS just does its own thing. The market could be falling over, absolutely shitting the bed, and CAS is just cruising at the moment. And, right now in a very tight range. So nothing really to report here for CAS other than we are back at support 156. Okay, so that is a zone of interest to me. And I wouldn't be surprised if they want to wick us down into this 200-day moving average. You can see where that is sitting at 1.51. Okay, that's a potential wick area for me on CAS. And then we got the big one. Okay, the big dog, the 618 at 1.44. Now, all of these are feasible zones here where we could get a bleed out and then some kind of bounce. But you can see the way CAS is just accumulating here in this region, and you can see something is going on here. Okay, let's see where they try and wick us. Now, remember, the longer you sit in these types of ranges, you get the short squeeze, you get the long squeeze, but they're going to stop hunt you both ways. Okay, they're going to come both ways. So let's not get excited if we get a pump through the 50-day MA. You can see this region is huge resistance, 172. So I wouldn't be surprised if these guys want to just come and just, fake you out there, get you to start buying up there, and then send this thing back down. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if that is their game plan. So just look out for that big resistance here at the 50-day MA, 0.172. Watch that zone closely. That is your resistance support. Wicks to 151, wicks to 145. Those are the big zones that I would pay attention to on CAS. Other than that, no changes. This thing has been pretty boring since the 6th of August. Okay, we've been sitting in this range now. God, we've been sitting in this range for 18 days. No, 22 days. Wow. Okay, not much going on here with CAS at the moment. Now, Ray, check this video, bro. You gotta watch. You gotta watch this video. Now, we absolutely nailed. We nailed some of these entries yesterday. Okay, 𝗚𝗦 was one of them. Phantom was just a thing of absolute beauty. The way it dropped into that area. Popcat, another one, was a banger. Render was a banger. So if you were awake, okay, I wasn't awake, but if you were awake when we got that dip, you would have found that a lot of these zones got hit for you guys. And you know what? We must celebrate those wins, and we must enjoy those moments, Ray.
Just following the plan.
Can you hear this?
Guys, here's the plan. What do you mean?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay, you're just waiting for your next zone. Okay, this was our plan on FTN, and your entry is 0.427. That is what you're waiting for. So could be a golden entry opportunity here for you guys.
Don't long where he says. Just don't put.
Is Mr. Salty here? Mr.
Guys,
Salty,
you know what?
please present
You mustn't
yourself.
be salty. You mustn't be salty, bro. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, we know a hot zone when we see a hot zone. So, guys, I mean, hopefully you guys are learning stuff here from me and everything that I'm showing you. Hopefully you are improving your TA and things from this. And, this was just fun. I just thought I had to make this video. This guy was so salty in the chats. And he was saying, don't do it. And there it goes. Okay, I mean, that was a little banger. Another one. Okay, another one was 𝗚𝗦. Now I see Fahad has longed 𝗚𝗦. What did I say yesterday, Ray? Were you here? What was my level for 𝗚𝗦? 119.
Okay, and we're there.
It was 119. Okay, we were watching the meltdown. And what do we know? Okay, look at that thing. 119 on the button. Okay, thank you very much. We at least got the reaction on the zone. Again, I don't promise you Valhalla here. I'm not promising you the moon. But what I'm telling you is, watch out in these zones. Listen to Papa over here. Okay, we know where we get these reactions. We know what's going down in these areas. And these are the first types of areas that you start looking at when you're trying to build a position, or if you're looking for a long, okay, and you see the chart coming down and you start making longs up here, opening longs up here, you're just putting yourself at risk. Okay,
Bitcoin taking a dump. Bitcoin
shitting the bed, bro. Okay, let's finish the 𝗚𝗦 quickly. I just want to teach you guys something here. This is the importance of zooming out. Okay, if you are fixated on 15-minute candles, 1-hour time frames, sometimes you need to take a step back and see, where am I in the bigger picture? Because regardless of what the dump looks like on your 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute candles, if you actually zoom out, you can see where the real reaction zones are, where the real support levels are. And 𝗚𝗦 was just typically one of them. We had a terrible red candle yesterday, bleeding down, and we zoom out and we highlight a reaction zone. And this, for me, 119 was a reaction zone. So these are the areas. Okay, so save your money. Stop trying to open longs up here in these areas. Wait for it to hit these zones. This is where the action is, okay? That is where your action is going to take place, okay? And right, if you lose this area, at least you have played around in a long at a very tight level. If we start losing that level, then you trend to the next one. You wait, okay? You zoom out, you chill. You don't need to trade. Okay, you sit back, you wait for your next area, and that is where you can play it. So save yourself money. You know, if the thing starts falling over, don't start banging out longs at these highs, okay? The odds are against you, okay? The probabilities start moving away from you. So just play safe. And here's Phantom. Now you can see this is now a trend break to the downside. Okay, this thing is looking pretty bearish here at the moment, tying in with BTC. But this was a great example. Okay, so what do we do? What do we talk about? We talk about reaction zones. And Phantom was dropping yesterday. There was tons of panic here. And what did they do? They just came. They pinged our trend. They pinged our 50-day MA. They pinged our horizontal and gave you a little move. Scalper's paradise here. Okay, Scalper's paradise on these big areas. You got a nice little 6 or 7% pump this morning just for buying it at 0.427. Okay, that's all you needed to do. You just needed to wait for that reaction in that area. If you were buying above that, you were buying too early. Remember Popcat? I said to you guys yesterday, I've actually FOMO'd in a little bit early. Okay, so when I went to bed, I set my stop under that range because I didn't want to wake up rinsed out. What did Popcat do? It stopped me out, but it went exactly on that level I gave you yesterday to the dollar and then sent itself higher. So just lessons again every time. Just wait for these reaction zones, zoom out a little bit, be patient, don't rush into things. And that Popcat example from me yesterday is a prime example. Okay, it was floating around above a reaction zone, and I thought, well, let me just try this little range. And then by the time I went to bed, I had to set a stop, so I wasn't prepared to let this thing sweat a little bit lower. So there's key lessons here in everything for you guys. And you know, most importantly, I just want to make you guys, you know, I want to help you. Okay, I want to save you guys from these types of red candles. I want to save you the pain, okay, of taking trades in wrong zones and things like that, and just playing things a little bit safer, lots of risk management and things like that. So if you are learning a little bit from me, that is all I really want to give you guys. So let's look at BTC here on the 4 hour. Okay, so we are now moving back into our 57,969. So Ray's not happy. He is not happy. Okay, so all is not lost. Okay, we can't turn that bearish just yet. Let's see what type of move we get. But right now, 57,969. That is your support. Okay, let's watch this area. Let's look for some kind of reaction here, and let's see. We've got some time. We can watch this thing. Let's actually dial in a little bit. Let's go into this perps chart here. Let's watch the show. Maybe we can catch a little. Maybe they give us a little dump, and then maybe we get some kind of little long we can take here. Okay, so we're going to dial in here. Now we're going to look for some kind of fake out here to the downside. Let's see. We get some kind of push here and then a sharp recovery. Okay, that could indicate that we are now going to bounce. So let's see. Let's see what they give us. We got time. We got time. We got time. Jeez, they are rinsing people out today. Woo! So we just want to set a little fake out under these lows, okay? Because they're going to come and collect stops now from earlier today. So if we hit here 57,700, somewhere there, we might be worth a little look. The suspense is killing me.
I know. I have a level at 57. I have a level now, a level at 57,700 and 57,150.
I'm pulling out some Keltner channels here. You see, we've lost this channel. Okay, this is normally a good little indicator for the scalpers here. We've lost this Keltner channel. That's normally a good sign. So I just want to see one more push. I want to get a fake out here because we know, okay, everyone that longed in the last 3 hours, their stops are there. Okay, we know that. So now we're looking for a little stop hunt here under this area here. Let's see. It would be very weird if they just pumped it up here from here.
Smash the likes, guys. Or sign up for an exchange and take a long now.
if you like scalping 15-minute candles with us, hit the likes. Let's see. Come on. They must just sweat this thing down. Just a little stop hunt, and then we can jump in here. Let's see. So this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 channel thing is quite a nice one to watch. You can track this one. You can see, look here, it holds the channel, and then they break out of it, little fake out, and then you generally come back into that channel. Look at that example there today. Look at the long. They broke out of it, and now they're bringing it back. Okay, so now we've broken out of it to the downside.
I flipped short on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I killed it. Quick 30%.
Guys, let's be safe here. Okay, here we go. One more push, come. One more. Come. We just want to wipe these stops out here. High risk play, guys. Okay. High risk play here. Here we go. Okay, now we don't want to dip too much lower than this. Maybe this 57,700 here. Not much lower than this. Okay, then I'm going to start cutting. Let's see. Rinse me. Are they going to liquidate me live here, Ray?
I mean,
let's see.
It could definitely go. It could definitely go to 57,150.
Let's see. So remember my big gap there. Okay, there's a wick zone here, 57,400. We can see the wicks there. Okay, the big one for me is this 56k. Okay, the big one. Okay, we can see there's a wick here, 57,474. Okay, we can see that. Yeah, there we go. There's a bit of a bounce there. Hello. 57,474. That was an area. Okay, so we can see there's a wick there at 57,474. There we go. Okay, I don't really want to stick around all the way there, but I just want to get this. Let's get some stability here. Let's see. This is called catching a falling knife. But really, we are looking for a little fake out here. We want that stop hunt, and then they want to send it higher. If they want to come and kill us, I mean, naturally, they're just going to come and brutalize this thing. But 57,466, and then the next big one for me, we won't try lower than that. The next big one, I'm sitting out. Okay, we'll look again at 56k. Okay, let's see.
Fuck. Come on now.
Come on. Do your thing. Look at this. It's completely lost this channel. Okay, it's completely lost the channel. I mean, did we catch the exact bottom there? Let's see. This is fishing of the highest order. Desmond says goodbye or goodbye. Guys, you'll find out tomorrow. There'll be zero balance in this account. There we go. There's a bit of a bounce there.
There's a green candle happening.
Okay, there's a green candle. Guys, okay, I'm putting my stop there under that low. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. So essentially what I was looking for there, proper D10 vibes there. Okay, we were just looking for a stop hunt below those lows. Okay, that's what they typically like to do. If you've been in a tight little range there for the day, for the last 4 or 5 hours, they know where your stops are. Okay, so what do they want to do? They want to come and scare the shit out of you, do a little stop hunt, and then send it up. Okay, that's the easiest game for them. And they grab that liquidity. So look at that. Look at that bounce there. Okay, so there's a nice little scalp there, little bounce. Okay, it was a tiny position, but I think the idea, as long as you guys are getting the idea as to what's been going on here, typical stop hunt here. You buy it when it looks disgusting. Okay, look at that. There it goes. Bang. Okay. I rest my case. My work here is done. That is the absolute bottom. Okay. They don't call me the Lord of Entry for nothing. Okay, guys, on that note, okay, big night tonight, Nvidia, you know what to do. Okay, just be safe. Okay, just be safe out there. Tomorrow's another day. If you don't want to trade, don't trade. We'll deal with this tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow. We'll cover it all again. Okay, see you guys later.